From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. Hope everyone had a fantastic start to the work week. We'll have another sunny day out there, but it's going to be more hazy sunshine. We'll keep that through Wednesday at least, but wind gusts picking up for Thursday. That could clear some of the haze and smoke. High temperatures staying between 75 to 85 in general for lower elevations over the next week. Already a beautiful sunrise taking shape this morning in Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app. You can download it for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Temperatures this morning, 40s and 50s across the map. All of us need some sort of jacket as you're walking out the front door. And your day planner forecast on this Tuesday for lower elevations, 60s with plenty of sunshine all throughout the day, but 60s around lunchtime. It's going to feel excellent. A little bit on the warmer side for the warmest part of the day as we'll be into the 70s and 80s, a few degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. But with all the haze on the map, I'll also talk about the fires that are on the map in the Cascades in particular, and that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, one person killed, several others hurt in a crash on Highway 12 in Pasco. We're going to let you know what troopers say led up to this deadly crash. And as Josh mentioned, crews continuing to battle some fast-moving wildfires in Chelan County. There's major road closures and evacuation orders in place. We're going to break it all down for you and check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth as he will let you know what crews are going to expect as we go into today. And need to file a police report but don't want to wait for a deputy? Well, there's a new way to do it in Benton County, and we're going to break that down for you as well. It's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now, Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jada Elliott. Jessica has the morning off, and we want to start, like we mentioned, with a fire watch this morning as crews continue to battle the Labor Mountain Fire and the Lower Sugarloaf fires, both out of Chelan County. So yesterday, we saw some pretty strong dry winds pushing those flames east towards Highway 97. That forced some closures on Blewett Pass. That stretch of Blewett Pass still shut down this morning. It's between milepost 149 and 178. Right now, they have not given us any timeline for when that part of Blewett Pass will reopen, so we'll keep you updated on that. But also evacuation levels increased with go now orders in place for Chaser Creek Road, King Creek Road, and Culver Creek Road. American Red Cross has set up a shelter at the Warehouse Community Church in Initat for anyone displaced. Firefighters now today focusing on defensive firing operations in the Beverly Creek drainage. Other crews are preparing some additional control lines near Bear Creek and Chaser Creek. Structure protection, of course, remains a priority for nearby communities, including Valley High and Camas. Now, a community meeting is set for tonight at 6 at the Initat School District. It will also be streamed live online for people who aren't able to make that meeting in person. So they're going to be talking about the Sugarloaf Fire and the Labor Mountain Fire. You can watch that live stream on the Lower Sugarloaf Fire Facebook page. But what does it mean for fire crews today? We want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, kind of breaking down what the wind and the weather conditions might mean for these firefighting efforts as we head in to the morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit breezy today in the Cascades with some of those gusts out of the south and east. The only good news with that is that it could perhaps push this fire a little bit further away from US 97. But take a look at this. This is the portion of the fire that exploded on Sunday. Looks like the active hotspots over the past 24 hours have been pretty active as well on this side of the fire. So we're now approaching 12,000 acres with the Labor Mountain Fire, and it's still only 7% contained. Level 3 go now evacuations in place along a good chunk of US 97, just along or a little bit to the north of Blewett Pass. You can find an interactive version of this evacuation map at ChelanGIS.maps.arcgis.com. On to the Wildcat Fire now. This one is burning in northwestern Yakima County, and of course we've been tracking it for the past handful of weeks. The northeastern flank of the fire starting to flare up once again, getting very close to Goose Prairie. Still those level 2B set evacuations in place for Goose Prairie and for Bumping River Road. A little bit later in the show, we'll tell you what to put in that go bag. Also, I'll talk about how the winds are going to impact both of these fires, especially the winds that we could see for Thursday. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much for that update. Turning now to a crime alert out of Kennewick, where police are investigating a shooting that happened just last night around 8 o'clock. It all happened on the 1500 block of 4th Avenue, right near Quincy Street. Take a look. Video from the scene as the investigation was active last night. Witnesses say they heard an argument between a group of people in that area, and then they heard gunshots. At least one person was taken to the hospital with a police escort. This morning, we don't know their condition. We don't have an update on that yet. But then a police drone was put up into the air to search for suspect or suspects who witnesses reportedly ran from that area. Streets, as you can see, they were all blocked off. The crime scene tape wrapped around a number of blocks in that area. Streets have now since been open and cleared this morning. But they are continuing to investigate. They are continuing to search for suspects. And of course, as soon as we have an update on the condition of that victim, we'll pass it along to you. And a Washington State University football player was shot during an off-campus party early Sunday morning. Authorities saying the suspect, who is a UW student, is now claiming self-defense. 20-year-old Ja'Cory Buchanan, a University of Washington student, says he fired the shot while protecting another person who was seriously injured. Now this morning, Buchanan's attorney says that he is working on turning himself in. The victim, right there on your screen, WSU offensive lineman Sone Falaleo, was shot in the stomach. He has since undergone a successful surgery and has been released from the hospital. We're told he is expected to make a full recovery. Now, Pullman police say this shooting happened just before 2 a.m. at the Aspen Heights Apartments there in Pullman, and that would have been in the early morning hours after the Apple Cup game on Saturday. Court documents indicate that Buchanan is facing first and fourth degree assault charges, and a felony warrant has been issued for his arrest. Police say Falaleo intervened when Buchanan allegedly assaulted a woman at that party, and that's when the altercation turned violent. Authorities, of course, continuing to search for Buchanan. His attorney, once again this morning, saying that he does plan to turn himself in. But regardless, police are still asking anyone with information on this to come forward. Looking at the roadways now, as Washington State Patrol is investigating a hit-and-run crash near Burbank city limits. It happened early yesterday morning. Troopers say it happened on State Route 124 near milepost 2. There was a car making a left turn and was hit from behind. The driver who caused it took off. The victims, a 52-year-old man and a 44-year-old woman, were both taken to the hospital with injuries, and that suspect vehicle has not yet been located. If you saw anything, contact police. And a deadly crash shut down part of Highway 12 in Pasco yesterday afternoon. Take a look. This is video from the scene. Troopers say a westbound vehicle turned onto Sacagawea Park Road and was hit by an oncoming car. The passenger in the eastbound vehicle, a 63-year-old woman, Tammy Bench of Burbank, passed away at the scene. 2 other people were hurt. We don't have an update on their conditions this morning. The driver who made the turn was also taken to the hospital and cited for failure to yield. Investigators telling us that they do not believe that drugs or alcohol played a factor in this deadly crash. And in Benton County, the sheriff's office has launched a new online reporting system. They say it's to make it easier for people and businesses to file certain non-emergency police reports. They say eligible reports will include things like misdemeanor crimes like fraud, fireworks, harassing phone calls, and they say the process is simple. Users select the type of crime, follow the guided prompts, and then submit their report. Well, deputies will then review it, and once it's approved, a case number will be issued to that reporting party. Deputies, of course, will still be available in person through dispatch, but the sheriff's office says that this new option gives the community a faster, more convenient way to report crime. 6:09 on this Tuesday, and still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Court is in session in Pierce County as a 13-year-old charged with plotting a school shooting appeared in court, hoping to return to in-person classes, but they say safety still remains top concern. This morning we're learning the decision that was made, and those details are all coming up after the break. And giving you a beautiful live look this morning outside from our Apple Valley studios right here in Kennewick as the sun is slowly starting to make its way up along the horizon. A beautiful start to our Tuesday. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert forecast on what you can expect as you start your day today, coming up after the break.
Right now, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in.
Are we having the wool pulled over our eyes here?
Nope. And you get the latest phones.
High five.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, now part of T-Mobile.
Overturf Kia has officially relocated to Pasco, offering faster service and brand new state-of-the-art facility designed for maximum customer service satisfaction. Lease a 2025 Telluride S all-wheel drive with second-row captain's chairs, 12.3-inch touchscreen, power sunroof, towing package, and more for $499 per month with $499 due at signing. Shop online anytime just south of Highway I-182 at the Road 100 Broadmoor Boulevard exit on St. Thomas Drive in Pasco.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Listen up. You've got 4 days and 4 days only to save like never before during the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining tables and chairs, bedrooms, and much, much more. Plus, 48 months, no interest, and no down payment. But don't wait. The 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
The new iPhone 17 Pro is finally here. And at US Cellular, you can get it on us with no trade-in.
Wow, the new iPhone is thrilling.
It even has the ultimate pro camera system.
Too thrilling.
Get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, now part of T-Mobile.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on that zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County, 46 for Snoqualmie Pass, 40 for Ellensburg, but around 50 for Vantage. Then in the Yakima Valley, 40s and 50s, 42 for Toppenish, 51 for Sela, 45 in Yakima. For the Lower Columbia Basin, all of us in the 40s, 42 for the Tri-Cities, a pair of 46s for Mesa and Connell. We'll throw Hanford into the mix as well. Then for the foothills, upper 40s for the Morrow County foothills, kind of all over the place for the rest of the foothills. 42 for Pendleton, 51 for Walla Walla, and then 30s and 40s for the highest terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here's your coat cast on this Tuesday in the Tri-Cities. Light jacket weather for this morning, but as soon as I'd say 11 o'clock, it's probably going to be t-shirt weather, definitely t-shirt weather as we get to the warmest part of the day. And for the warmest part of the day will be a few degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, around 80 for lower elevations with a lot of sunshine, hazy sunshine at that. Let's go ahead and show you futurecast surface smoke. It's going to be a lot of thin smoke for most of us, but you see the thickest smoke going to be immediately downwind of those fires burning in the Cascades, especially downwind of the Labor Mountain fire. So that's where air quality could be dangerous, but I think for the rest of us, air quality isn't going to be that big of a concern. If anything, you'll just be able to notice the haze up in the skies. But winds picking up on Thursday. That's good for air quality overall. That's bad news for the fires. We'll talk about that nuance coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 6:14 now, and in Pierce County, a hearing was held just yesterday to determine whether a 13-year-old boy who officials believe was plotting a mass shooting before his arrest should remain in custody. Connor Board has the details.
The state does have concerns for community safety and would recommend that he remain in secure detention.
Discussion in a courtroom Monday over if a 13-year-old charged with crimes related to planning a mass shooting should be kept behind bars.
Frankly, based on these allegations, the state does have some concern about Being returned to a traditional school setting at this particular time.
Pierce County Sheriff's deputies arrested the 13-year-old 3 weeks ago after he allegedly posted threatening messages on social media. That led to investigators searching his family home, where they found dozens of guns and several writings about school shootings. They also found a backpack filled with ammunition and AR-style magazines that had writings on them referencing school shootings like Columbine.
His mother has shared is that her plan would be for him to return home.
The boy has been homeschooled for at least 4 years. His defense team and mother want him to go back to traditional school if he is released, saying a Pierce County public middle school has said he could attend.
If the court allows him to go to in-person school, he has no objection to going into the office and having his backpack checked every time he arrives at the school. The court does not want him in in-person schooling. He has no objection to doing online schooling.
The boy's mother was addressed in court.
So your proposal is, as far as school, either that he goes to a traditional school or that he does online schooling through the school district?
Yeah. She said they have enough family to supervise him at all times.
Are there currently any firearms in the home?
No. The judge will decide in 2 weeks if he will be released or not.
If the same safety plan is in place, we will consider it then.
And actually, we have now learned this morning that that request has been denied and that teen will remain in custody. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He will have your full first alert forecast as we make our way through this week, giving you a live look outside from our BuyMart camera in Yakima. It is 6:16. We'll be right back.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by never settling. But what's really made Ford F-Series #1 is you.
You wouldn't buy a car without a test drive.
So why buy a mattress in a box from an online marketing company without ever knowing if it's right for you?
Don't go through the hassle of returning a mattress when you can get it right the first time.
Mattress Depot USA has top quality mattresses that you can actually touch and feel.
Made by local manufacturers.
You're gonna love our prices.
And same-day delivery. Try getting that online.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Some problems include pain in the hips, back, or chest. Get more at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Memorial Health. Prostate cancer awareness starts here. This is how we care.
The new iPhone 17 Pro is finally here. And at US Cellular, it's easier than ever to get it on us with no trade-in.
Wow, the new iPhone 17 Pro is thrilling.
It even has the ultimate pro camera system.
Oh, that's even more thrilling.
You don't have to trade in your old phone, so there's nothing stopping you from getting the new iPhone.
Nice. I kind of wish someone would stop me, though, so I can get the new iPhone.
Thanks for riding.
No, thank you.
Get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, now part of T-Mobile.
Apple Valley News Now's Young Hearts, sponsored by Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, supporting Bikes for Tykes, giving away bikes and helmets to area kids. Click Bikes for Tykes at AppleValleyNewsNow.com to see how you can help.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by never settling. But what's really made Ford F-Series #1 is you.
Take off for a magical flight over the Walla Walla Valley, home to some awesome world-class wines.
A grape is super dependent on the sense of place and where it's grown. And Walla Walla is a great example of that.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Next live from Celebrity Name That Tune, Jane Krakowski.
Does the coffee taste better in that mug?
It sure does. Plus DIY fall crafts.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now. The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Going to be a lot of hazy sunshine across the map once again for today, and high temperatures going to be a little bit warmer in comparison to yesterday, as will be a few degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 70s and 80s for lower elevations, and 60s and 70s for both the Cascades and the Blues. Speaking of the Cascades, a little bit breezy up that way for today. The rest of us going to see light winds, but this will be a little bit of a bugaboo for firefighters up there. But then for tonight, we'll talk about the winds for tonight in a second. But first, sky cover. Still going to be hazy up in the skies, and overnight low is going to be down into the 40s and 50s, similar temperatures to what we're seeing for this morning. Now the winds for tonight, as those breezes going to shift over to the Blues, so that'll give us a little bit of a reprieve up in the Cascades, definitely what we need. Things will hold serve for Wednesday, but unfortunately for Thursday, this is when the wind gusts come back in full force. Peak gust around 30 miles per hour in the Cascades, up around 40 miles per hour for the Kittitas Valley. This is definitely going to work against containment efforts of all three of those fires: the Wildcat Fire, the Labor Mountain Fire, and the Lower Sugarloaf Fire. High temperatures, they go up, they go down, they go back up, they go back down. So mostly seasonal. If you average all this out, I'd say either seasonal or a little bit warmer than normal for this time of the year, but that's what we got cooking over the next 7 days, and not a lot of rainfall in the forecast over the next 7 days. Lower elevations keep it dry through Sunday. Little shower chances up in the Cascades for Sunday. Maybe some more widespread rainfall for Monday. That's still 7 days out. We'll see how the model data adjust. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Gusty weather comes back on Thursday, hopefully making the skies a little less hazy in the short term. In Yakima, warm and dry forecast through Sunday, then a 30% chance of rain on Monday. In Ellensburg, winds picking up to around 40 miles per hour on Thursday, then calmer winds into the weekend. For Hermiston, keeping the forecast dry with 70s and 80s through Sunday, perhaps some showers to start next week. Finally, for Walla Walla, keeping those summer vibes through the weekend, maybe a little more like fall with the chance of rain on Monday.
All right, thanks, Josh. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Back on air. Jimmy Kimmel is returning to ABC after last week's controversy, and he's got a lot to say in his opening monologue, but you might not be able to see him everywhere. Plus, science meets Hollywood. Bill Nye the Science Guy just earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and we'll have the details on these stories and more in your entertainment headlines coming up after the break.
Fall is in the air, and that means getting back to school, putting outdoor toys away, and getting ready for winter sports. If you've been injured in an accident, call 735-0546 to find out what your rights are under the law.
For 25 years, you've made Triple Play more than just a place to play. You've turned it into a place where memories are made. We want to thank our amazing guests and community. From birthday parties to company outings and spontaneous weekend adventures, your memories are what make Triple Play special. Here's to 25 years of fun and many more to come. Thank you for being part of our story.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino, your premier gaming destination. Experience the thrill of a Vegas-style casino featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and unlock exclusive rewards every time you play. Challenge your skills at our 16-lane bowling alley. Unwind with a drink at our cozy bar, or enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Last Frontier. The ultimate entertainment experience has something for everyone. Nob Hill Casino, where locals come to win.
Board-certified gastroenterologist Dr. Amber Sharon is now seeing patients at Prosser Digestive Health Center. Dr. Sharon provides upper endoscopy, colonoscopy, and specializes in women's digestive health. Get expert, compassionate care close to home. Call Prosser Digestive Health Center at 509-786-5599 to schedule, or learn more at prosserhealth.org. Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
At More Furniture, the biggest sale of the year starts now. We're making room for the largest arrival of fresh styles and features in over a decade. Cozy living rooms, relaxing bedrooms, and elegant dining sets. It's all in stock and on sale. Right now, with a minimum purchase of $14.99, get your choice of free white glove delivery or we'll pay your sales tax. Don't wait. Shop early, beat the rush, and save big. Only at More Furniture, where everyone gets more furniture for less.
Fall is in the air, and that means getting back to school, putting outdoor toys away, and getting ready for winter sports. If you've been injured in an accident, call 735-0546 to find out what your rights are under the law.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
6:25, and in entertainment news this morning, Jimmy Kimmel's show is coming back.
That's right. ABC announced Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to air Tuesday night, and he will address the controversy during his opening monologue.
Yes, that's set for tonight. Now, as you remember, the show was abruptly and indefinitely taken off air last Wednesday as ABC pulled the show over criticism over Kimmel's monologue about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Well, the FCC chair, Brendan Carr, and networks of affiliate stations had threatened ABC over the remarks.
On Monday, a spokesperson for Disney, which owns ABC, said they suspended the show to cool tension over the comments. They said they felt some of Kimmel's comments were poorly timed and thus insensitive, but after thoughtful conversations with Kimmel, they reached the decision to bring the show back Tuesday.
However, just as of this morning, Sinclair Broadcast Group, which is a large broadcast group with stations all across the country, released a statement saying that they plan to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live on their ABC affiliate stations, which Sinclair owns 39 affiliate stations nationwide. They'll be preempting it with news. They say the move could greatly reduce the program audience reach. So that just announced this morning.
And big news for science fans and anyone who grew up in the 90s. Shout out to the 2000s, too. I watched a little bit of them. But
oh, you're a science guy.
Yeah, Bill Nye, the Science Guy, has officially earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Some would say, what took so long, right?
Exactly.
The ceremony was held just yesterday in LA, honoring the beloved science communicator for his impact on television. Before we all knew him as the Science Guy, Nye was actually an engineer at Boeing and even tried his hand at stand-up comedy in Seattle.
That mix of smarts and humor helped him create the Bill Nye the Science Guy character for a sketch show, which eventually grew into the hit series that ran from 1993 to 1998, and the show went on to win 19 Emmy Awards.
And now his legacy is literally cemented on Hollywood Boulevard, proving once again, science rules.
Science does rule.
Yeah. You a big Bill Nye fan?
Yeah, I was just over there. I was kind of humming to myself, Bill, 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 Bill. So
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Definitely. And he got his start, I think the show started in Seattle, in the Seattle TV market.
Yeah,
correct?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because, he was from there and tried stand-up, which I love.
Yep.
I bet he'd be funny.
He is. I think he is a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to the whole state of Washington. You know, we all made this happen.
Exactly. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up at our 6:30 half hour, a local Girl Scout troop making a difference in the community by making sure each birthday is special. Coming up, how you can also help the group help others. And speaking of helping others, make a difference with your license plate. Washington is offering a new emblem to support suicide prevention for veterans and military families. We have those stories and more coming up in your next half hour.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Prostate cancer screenings can lead to early detection, which can help with successful treatments. Find out more at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Prosser Memorial Health. Prostate cancer awareness starts here. This is how we care.
David, did you remember to get me an anniversary present?
Anniversary? Of course, it's Mattress Depot USA's anniversary, and we're having a gigantic sale.
Take advantage of our best prices of the year.
And interest-free financing.
David, you do know anniversaries only come once a year, right?
Yes, and if you miss ours, you'll be sorry.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Are you ready to revolutionize your career in digital advertising? Join Morgan Murphy's dynamic team at Apple Valley News Now, where innovation meets opportunity. At Apple Valley News Now, we're leading the charge in connected television and digital sales, helping local businesses thrive in today's growing and evolving market. If you're passionate about digital solutions and driving revenue growth, we want to hear from you. Check us out now at morganmurphymedia.com/current-openings to begin your journey.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Hi, I'm Christine Connolly, local realtor with As You Wish Real Estate Team. I offer negotiable commission, 100% free staging, and top-notch marketing. I'm a proud sponsor of Operation Best Friend. Remember, you only get one chance to make a first impression. As you wish.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us on this Tuesday. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Jessica has the morning off, and the 3-degree guarantee is always her favorite part of the day. And normally, when she's off, you start to falter a little bit. She's kind of a good luck charm.
That's right.
But how's that working?
So far, so good. We got the good momentum going, knocking on the wood, all the good karma. Yesterday went with forecast high 74 and it verified at 75. So the jackpot is now up to $275. So for today, going with forecast high of 80 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 77 and 83, the jackpot's going to hit $300. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Bottom line for the forecast, we're expecting more hazy sunshine through Wednesday at least, but the haze could thin out in bulk as wind gusts going to return for Thursday. That could make firefighting efforts up in the Cascades a little bit dicey though. And then high temperatures staying pretty steady, bouncing between 75 to 85 over the next week. Right now you're taking a look at some of those hazy skies in Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. And temperatures this morning 40s and 50s out there. All of us need some sort of jacket as you're headed out the front door. Your hourly forecast for this Tuesday in the Tri-Cities, hazy sunshine all throughout the day. Going to be, around 70 degrees around lunchtime. Then for the warmest part of the day, closer to 80. All lower elevation spots for highs going to end up around 80 with that hazy sunshine. I'll take you on that zone by zone tour of this terrific Tuesday forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much. We begin this half hour of news in Richland, where earlier this summer, the marina at Columbia Park was deconstructed. Back in July, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Department of Fish and Wildlife began deconstructing the marina there at the west end of the park. Well, the work wrapped up at the end of August, with city officials confirming a final walkthrough earlier this month. They say the marina had to be removed because of changes to the water flow that will come once the causeway to Bateman Island is taken out. The city of Richland says that while it is involved with some of the planning, the causeway removal isn't their project, and it will be led by federal agencies later this year. And in state news, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and the Washington State Department of Licensing is hoping to raise awareness about prevention programs. You can now buy a 988 Lifeline emblem for your license plate. It's just $18, and the DOL says that money will support veteran and military member suicide prevention accounts. Those accounts provide resources to at-risk veterans, military members, and their families, adding that this emblem can be placed on any license plate. If you want to purchase it, you can visit our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. 6:34, making a difference now. Girl Scouts from Troop 2001 stopped by the Fish Community Food Bank in Ellensburg to help support the birthday bag project. Take a look. These girls, along with their siblings, assembled birthday bags, even filling up plastic bags once their birthday bags and supplies started to dwindle. The food bank says that this troop organized everything and carefully chose the gifts to put in these bags. If you'd like to keep the project going, they say that they're low on cake mix, frosting, birthday bags, and party supplies. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Think allergies only hit in the spring? Think again. Fall pollen is in the air, and it could be wreaking havoc on your sinuses right now. We'll have tips on keeping your seasonal allergies at bay. It's all coming up after the break in your Health Minute.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, now part of T-Mobile.
Lung disease is very difficult to live with in many ways, and our goal here is to truly live the mission of Good Shepherd, which is patients first, always. Our pulmonology and sleep medicine team is here for you. We're here to provide you world-class care. Please contact us and come to see us. It will be our privilege to serve you.
Good Shepherd Healthcare System. Patients first, always.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2025 Ford Bronco Sport goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Big Bend 4x4 for just $289 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Listen up. You've got 4 days and 4 days only to save like never before during the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining tables and chairs, bedrooms, and much, much more. Plus, 48 months, no interest, and no down payment. But don't wait. The 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Experience the magic of historic downtown Prosser from September 25th to 28th with the Balloon Rally and Street Painting Festival. Watch talented artists bring the streets to life with vibrant chalk art starting Thursday night. Join us Saturday for the grand reveal of the stunning street chalk masterpieces, followed by the mesmerizing night glow of the Balloon Rally. It's a weekend full of color, creativity, and community spirit you won't want to miss. Mark your calendars and come celebrate with us in historic downtown Prosser.
Take off for a magical flight over the Walla Walla Valley, home to some awesome world-class wines.
A grape is super dependent on the sense of place and where it's grown. And Walla Walla is a great example of that.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Next live, from Celebrity Name That Tune, Jane Krakowski.
Does the coffee taste better in that mug?
It sure does.
Plus DIY fall crafts.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We still have those level 2B set evacuations in place for the Wildcat fire in Yakima County, Goose Prairie, Bumping River Road. This is where you got to be packed. You got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Here's what to put in that go bag: a non-perishable food supply, a 3-day supply, 3 gallons of water per person, a map with evacuation routes, necessary medication, a change of clothes, extra eyeglasses or contacts, an extra set of car keys, credit cards, cash, first aid kit, a flashlight with extra batteries, a battery-powered radio, copies of important documents, pet food, and water. So that northeastern flank of the fire getting closer and closer to Goose Prairie. That's why we keep reminding you of this, even though it's now been in place for the past few weeks at this point. Okay, here's your zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. Going to be a little bit breezy for today. Thankfully, the winds out of the south and east. We don't want to see it breezy at all in the Cascades, but this is going to push the Labor Mountain fire away from US 97, and it's going to push the Wildcat fire a little bit further away from Goose Prairie. Fingers crossed. But 70s and 80s today in Kittitas County. Hazy sunshine will be around 80 degrees in the Yakima Valley, pretty close to 80 in the lower Columbia Basin, and a mixture of 70s and 80s for the foothills. The same thing with the highest terrain of the Blue Mountains, and hazy sunshine all across the map. I will talk about our forecast that's staying pretty steady. Thankfully, some rain chances into next week. We'll talk about those coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. It is fall officially here, but nearly 1 in 3 adults and more than 1 in 4 children in the U.S. report having seasonal allergies, even in the fall. Experts say climate change can make some of those symptoms last a little longer and be even more severe. And so in today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains why fall can be a tough time of year for allergy sufferers and how to help manage symptoms.
If you think seasonal allergies only bloom in spring, think again. As the leaves change color, those allergens pollinate and continue to be in the air until the first hard frost.
Fall allergens are still just as intense and can elicit all of the same symptoms.
Dr. Jessica Huey with National Jewish Health says those symptoms can include nasal congestion, runny nose, and itchy, watery eyes. Huey says this season can be one of the toughest times to get those symptoms under control.
Finally, the weather's cooler, so you're going outside, you're doing yard work, you're keeping your windows open in your home. Well, all of these are exposing you to pollens.
To help stop that exposure, Huey says to change clothes after being outdoors, shower to get pollen off your skin and out of your hair, keep windows shut as much as possible, especially bedroom windows. Avoid going outside in peak pollen times from late morning to mid-afternoon. Clean the vents in your home and change air filters.
These are all things that not only are great for your home, but can get rid of the different allergens that have kind of accumulated there throughout the year.
And if you're already feeling those fall allergy symptoms, Huey says over-the-counter and prescription nasal sprays can help, as can oral medications like antihistamines.
Just know you have a toolbox and you have strategies to really try to limit the amount of pollen exposures that you have.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And Dr. Huey says to also keep in mind some fall activities can also expose you to allergens, like going to a pumpkin patch or going on a hayride. That can cause exposure to different molds that are found in the vegetation, like hay, leaves, or even damp areas. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Also checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have your full first alert forecast as the sun is set to officially rise in 3 minutes. And we're also tracking a special report out of New York as President Trump is preparing to speak at the UN General Assembly. We're keeping a close eye on that as well. We hope to take you there live coming up shortly.
SDCU and Apple Valley News Now honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, click on Volunteers Count under the Contest tab at applevalleynewsnow.com.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet. Repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone, and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
I thought people exaggerated when they said shingles is a nightmare and the pain can last for weeks.
It wouldn't mean sleepless nights, right?
I didn't think I was at risk.
I was wrong. I didn't know that 99% of people over 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time.
I learned that the hard way.
But you don't have to. Talk to your healthcare provider today.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because we know it's more than a new home.
It's really him.
It's a new journey.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Whoa.
And when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly.
Go long.
Bundle home and auto and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, your safety is our top priority. We are the only board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgery experts in wisdom tooth removal and dental implant placement in the Tri-Cities. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, we ensure every patient receives safe, personalized treatment. Ask your dentist to refer you to the Tri-Cities experts in oral surgery, Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons. We look forward to meeting you.
At Apple Valley News Now's Phase 3 Digital, we have the right message to grab attention and drive leads.
Plus, the local expertise to connect you with new customers. Wherever your market is, we'll get results to build your business. Phase 3 Digital. Contact us today. Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. A lot of hazy sunshine for our region on this Tuesday, on the second day of fall. I have high temperatures that'll be a few degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 60s and 70s up in the mountains. A little bit breezy today up in the Cascades. Again, that could be a little tough for firefighters working on the lines on, of course, the handful of fires we have burning up that way. But for the rest of us, looks like wind gusts going to be not really a factor. Then for tonight, more hazy skies. Overnight lows going to be down into the 40s and 50s. Pretty similar to what we're seeing for this morning. And the wind gusts at this point going to calm down for the Cascades. That's the good news. And then that's going to shift over to the Blue Mountains. Okay, then for tomorrow, things really going to hold steady in terms of the wind gusts. So more good news. But here's the bad news. On Thursday, wind gusts picking up across the map. Peak gusts around 30 miles per hour in the Cascades, around 40 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. So this will work to clear a lot of the haze up in the skies. That's the good news. But again, the bad news within this is that those individual fires within the Cascades could unfortunately flare up once again. High temperature is going to go up, then they'll go down, then they'll go back up, then they'll go back down. So some ebbs and flows to the whole thing over the next 7 days in the Tri-Cities. And then in terms of rain chances, lower elevation is going to stay dry through Sunday. Little shower chances in the Cascades for Sunday, but much more widespread chances for rainfall by Monday. This is still 7 days out, so we'll have a lot more to say about this as the week progresses. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Gusty weather comes back on Thursday, hopefully making the skies a little less hazy in the short term. In Yakima, a warm and dry forecast through Sunday, then a 30% chance of rain on Monday. In Ellensburg, winds picking up to around 40 miles per hour on Thursday, then calmer winds into the weekend. For Hermiston, keeping the forecast dry with 70s and 80s through Sunday, perhaps some showers to start next week. And finally, for Walla Walla, keeping those summer vibes through the weekend, maybe a little more like fall with a chance of rain on Monday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
Look nice. You always look nice.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive. Michael Strahan one-on-one with Coach Prime.
And how did you feel when you walked in that day? Did you have any symptoms of anything?
This past spring, two-time Super Bowl champion and head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders, was unexpectedly diagnosed with an aggressive form of bladder cancer during a routine CAT scan for his blood clotting issues.
So did they tell you that day? Or did some time pass when they called you back?
No, they told me they found something and they need to bring me back to do like a surgery to make sure this was what it was.
Did you think it was cancer? Is that what they told you?
Yeah, no, they didn't think, they knew.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of Michael Strahan's exclusive interview with Deion Sanders. With your GMA First Look, I'm Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, New York.
With wet AMD, I worry I'm losing sight of the world around me. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments. So I can do more of what I love. Vabysmo works differently. It's the only treatment thought to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection, active eye swelling, or are allergic to it. Vabysmo could cause eye infection, retinal detachment, temporary increase in eye pressure, an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke, or severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye. Report changes to vision or eye pain to your retina specialist right away.
Open up your world with Vabysmo.
The #1 prescribed treatment for wet AMD. Ask a retina specialist about Vabysmo.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:50 time for your morning sprint. We start with your national headlines this morning. And the Florida man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump at a golf course last year has rested his case. Ryan Routh, representing himself, declined to take the stand in his own defense in federal court just yesterday. Routh questioned 3 witnesses before the judge cut him off. Routh asked his first witness, a former Marine sniper, a series of questions concerning the use of scopes and shooting from certain distances. Prosecutors countered with claims that Routh once placed a bounty on the president's head and sought heavy weapons to stop him from becoming president. It's unclear when closing arguments will begin. We'll keep you updated. In business headlines this morning at 6:51, an agreement between Boeing and China is expected to be finalized soon. This morning, U.S. Ambassador to China David Perdue told reporters that a huge deal is in its final days or weeks of negotiation. No further details of the deal were shared, but Bloomberg reported last month that Boeing was nearing a deal to sell up to 500 aircrafts to China. And talking sports in New Jersey, baseball fans, families, and former players joined forces on the diamond. It was all in effort to break the Guinness World Record for the largest game of catch. More than 1,100 pairs of people took the challenge to break the play-catch record. Participants stood 10 feet apart and played catch for 5 minutes. The previous record was set in 2017 in Illinois with 972 pairs of people. 6:52 time now for the top 5 local things you need to know this morning as you head out the door. Firefighters are continuing to battle the Labor Mountain and Lower Sugarloaf fires, both burning out of Chelan County. Strong winds have pushed those flames towards Highway 97, also prompting some level 3 evacuation orders along Chaser Creek, King Creek, and Culver Creek roads. And it also has led to a full closure of US 97 over Blewett Pass. No estimate on when that portion of Blewett Pass will reopen. A community meeting is scheduled at Inatat School District tonight to update residents and allow for questions both in person and virtually. You can find that virtually on the Sugarloaf Mountain Fires Facebook page. Right now, the Labor Fire has burned about 12,000 acres, the Sugarloaf Fire about 28,000. And a hit-and-run crash early Monday morning near Burbank left 2 people injured. Washington State Patrol says a vehicle traveling eastbound on State Route 124 attempted a left turn when it was struck from behind by another car. The driver of that other car fled the scene. The driver and passenger of that first car, a 52-year-old man and 44-year-old woman, were both taken to the hospital. Authorities still investigating and asking anyone with information to contact them. And a deadly crash on U.S. Highway 12 in Pasco left 1 person dead, several others injured. Taking a look at video from the scene of that crash, this involved 2 vehicles, one making a left turn onto Sacagawea Park Road, a second vehicle traveling eastbound. We're told that Tammy Bench, a 63-year-old woman from Burbank, was the passenger in that eastbound car and was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities confirmed and have told us that they don't believe drugs or alcohol played a factor in this crash. The conditions of the other people injured has not been updated. And across the U.S., school districts do face ongoing challenges when it comes to finding enough bus drivers each year, but some districts here in central Washington are making progress. While Walla Public Schools has stayed fully staffed by recruiting retired workers from other fields and also by hosting potlucks and events to show appreciation for the drivers. Meanwhile, the Kennewick School District spent the summer actively recruiting new drivers, reducing the number of vacant bus routes to just 2. And the Benton County Sheriff's Office has launched a new online reporting system allowing residents and businesses to file non-emergency police reports digitally. Eligible reports include things like mail theft, firework violations, harassment, fraud. They say the system walks users through the process and issues a case number once a report is approved by deputies. Officials say that the goal is to make reporting crimes more accessible while still allowing people to request in-person reporting if needed. All right, 6:55. Trending this morning, there's a new big cheese. An American has won one of France's top cheese competitions for the first time.
For the first time? Come on, America. Well, Emilia D'Albero won the Cheesemonger World Cup, which is held every other year near Paris.
With 9 challenges at the competition, you have to really know your cheeses. So this includes blind tasting, cutting a specific amount of cheese from a wheel without measuring tools. You also have to give an oral presentation, and there's also a written test.
It's intense. Okay, well, contestants must also create a 3D cheese sculpture for the final round. And of course, the winner, her sculpture depicted the phases of the moon.
Pretty fascinating.
I'd say so.
I really don't think I've met a cheese I didn't like.
Yeah.
I'm a big cheese fan.
Big cheese gal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You a cheese head?
Not as much as, like, it's kind of across the board. I have a lot of people in my life that are obsessed with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I like cheese. I think it's very good. Obsessed? Maybe not
so much.
Yeah. Or are you the kind of person that could sit there and just like eat a wheel of cheese? Are you that kind of person?
Well, I mean, a wheel, that sounds excessive. I'm going to say I have some limits. You know, but I could just sit and eat cheese.
Oh, I got some wheel cheese people in my life. Yeah.
A whole wheel of cheese.
Yeah.
All right, get us out the door on this Tuesday. Starting off a little chilly.
Yes, it is a little brisk out there, 40s and 50s across the map out there. So 42 in the Tri-Cities, 40 in Ellensburg, 46 up towards White Pass. A little bit later today, all of us going to end up around 80, at least in lower elevations. This is going to be a few degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. And of course, hazy sunshine galore out there. That's going to continue through Wednesday at least. But wind gusts picking up for Thursday. That'll work to clear a lot of the haze and smoke out of the region. Unfortunately, I think that can make the fires flare up again. So it might not be a long-term solution. And the high temperatures going to stay between 75 to 85 for lower elevations over the next week. Just an update on the evacuations. Again, level 3 go now evacuations still in place for the Labor Mountain fire. You can find an interactive evacuation map at ChelanGIS.maps.arcgis.com. Of course, we have that posted at AppleValleyNewsNow.com as well. Then those level 2 BSET evacuations for Goose Prairie and Bumping River Road.
All right, thanks so much for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find the latest on these stories and more on our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com. We're also preparing any moment for President Trump to speak at the UN General Assembly.
Have a great day.